Welcome to GKey Solutions Private Limited.
SQL Server Database, Real-Time Interview Questions and Answers. Question number 52. How to create and use indexes to improve query performance in SQL Server Database. In this session, we are going to discuss about how to create and use indexes to improve query performance in SQL Server Database. Coming to types of indexes, first one is clustered index. It sorts and stores data rows in table based on the indexed columns. Only one clustered index can exist per table because data can only be physically stored one way. By default, primary key creates a clustered index if none exists. Best for range queries like between, order by, because data is sorted in sorted order. The next index is non-clustered index, and it creates a separate structure with a pointer like row locator to the actual data row. You can have multiple non-clustered indexes for a table. It is ideal for frequently used search, filter or join columns. Best for frequent loops on a specific columns, especially when using where, join or group by classes in the query. Query without index. That means if you frequently filter on customer ID, SQL Server will perform a table scan. Example, this is the query select star from sales where customer ID is equal to 101. Coming to the execution plan, you will see the table scan, which means SQL Server is scanning every row here. Coming to creating a non-clustered index, here we are going to create a non-clustered index by using the syntax like create non-clustered index ix sales customer ID. This is the index name on sales of a customer ID column. After creating the index, let's select this query like select star from sales where customer ID is equal to 101. Here if you check the execution plan, now you will see index seek, which is much faster than a table scan. And coming to the covering index example, there would be some scenarios like if we often query customer ID and product name together, we can include extra columns in the index to make it a covering index. It avoids going back to the table. Create non-clustered index, index name on sales customer ID. We are going to include another column like by using include keyword here, product name and quantity. In such a way, we are going to add different columns to the already existing non-clustered ID. This means SQL Server can fetch results directly from index without looking up to the base table, and it improves the speeding of the query. There would be other things like if you want to drop the index which is created on a table, there is a syntax called drop index on sales table. Here there are some key points to be remembered. Use indexes and columns used in where, join, group by, order by clauses frequently. Avoid indexing columns with high number of unique values changing frequently. It can slow down write operations, that is inserting of the data. To monitor the views like to monitor the indexes which have been created on a particular table, there is a query execute sp underscore help index sales, which will give you all the indexes which are created on the table. Use SQL Server execution plan to check if query is using index seek, it is good, or table scan, which is bad. Let's see these things practically in SSMS, that is called SQL Server Management Studio, and we are at demo.GKey database. Here we are going to create a table called sales, which is sales ID, customer ID, product name, quantity and order date. Here we are creating the sales ID with identity property and primary key. First we are disabling it. Why? Because we'll check without creating any indexes on the table. First create the table here. Table has been created and we are inserting the data into the table, and data also got inserted, and here there is no there are no any indexes on the table, just trying to have a select query, like select star from sales where customer ID is equal to 101. Let's execute it and let's go for the execution plan. Here there is a shortcut. If you click on this icon, then you'll see the execution plan. Coming to the different scan here the scan is a table scan. Let's see the scan. What is the scan have been used on this? Here the scan is table scan, and the logical operation is table scan happened here. In this way, in table scan what happens is it will check all the rows in the table and it will get the desired output. In this scenario, all the data has been scanned. That means it is called a table scan here. Coming to the other approach, that here we are going to create a non-clustered index on a table. There is a query create non-clustered index. This is the index name that we are going to give here on the sales table, and this on customer ID column. We have a customer ID column here on the table. On the table we are creating a non-clustered index here. Let's execute it, and we have created the non-clustered index now. Now you select the same query. We are selecting select star from sales where customer ID is equal to 101. See, now see the execution plan here. Now it has given table scan again. And if you try to drop the table and again create the primary key index here. Now the table, we are creating the table here. Okay. Table has been created and we are inserting the data to the table. 5 rows got inserted. Now select the data and see the execution plan. Now the execution plan is here. The scan is clustered index scan. That means we have created a clustered index on the table. That means on a sales ID column. Then it is giving a clustered index. And we are trying to create this index again. We have created already, and we have created non-clustered index. And this is the query that we executed again, and clustered index scan. That means first we have created the clustered index. That's why it always go and look for the any indexes available on the table, and based on the index it's going to scan. In this way we have created a non-clustered index and clustered index on a particular table. Based on the clustered columns, it is going to scan the table. Here the scan is called index scan. Okay. And coming to create a non-clustered index covering index, that means there are frequently querying on more than one columns. If you want to include another column into the non-clustered index, we are including product name and quantity. Already existing customer ID that has been created, and to view what are all different indexes created on this particular table is like these are the indexes: non-clustered index and clustered ID, non-clustered index located on primary key and customer ID, and primary key on sales ID. Like this, we have clustered unique primary key located on primary, that is sales ID. In this way we have created different clustered and non-clustered indexes on a particular table, and we have seen the different scans. Like by using execution plan, we can see different scans, whether it is a table scan or index scan, something like it. For the practical purpose, we are going to put this scripts in the description part. You can download and use them for your practical purposes. Thank you.
Stay connected with GKey IT Solutions on all your favorite platforms. Follow us on YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and press the bell icon to stay updated with all our latest content. Join the GKey community and grow your IT career with us.